Yeah, this is looking nice.
You could have gone about it in a way that didn't throw me under the bus or ruin my program. You know what I mean? He's like, oh no, it's not like that. I'm like,
it is like that.
The best is when you start going through your WhatsApp and like you see some chicks that you hit from time, and then they were new, like they were new dudes, and you're like, sorry, bro, I hit it first.
Yeah, that's the worst. Okay, so I got the kind of damage that's been done to that girl.
I'm gonna monitor this just on my watch. I got it anyway. So we'll try and do like 20, 20, and 20 if we can. We'll do less than 60 anyways.
All right, cool.
Is it recording right now?
Yep. All right, ready to go?
Yeah.
Juan's gonna be the NBA insider on the cell. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another season of On the Vlog. Joe Ferrari, Ron Davis, Igor Henriquez, and Lamar Grant, fresh off his prediction of the Cavs last year. We're gonna touch on that real quick because we have to. We haven't had the show since. How are you feeling after that Golden State loss?
If Draymond didn't get suspended,
no,
let me just say something. I'm gonna be honest right now. I'm not a Golden State fan anymore. I wasn't like really a Golden State fan, but I can't believe they choked the way they did. I can't believe Steph Curry two times in the NBA Finals he's not showing up. You're the leading scorer in the league. I think he averaged like 17 points per game in that Finals.
He was a bit injured.
A bit, right? But he's a shooter. It's not like it's not injury where you're a athletic penetrator, right? So just for that team, I don't even care. Like I definitely do not want to. I'd rather, and you guys know I don't like LeBron. I'd rather the Cavs win than Golden State this year.
Where do you have LeBron jersey?
I want nothing to do with LeBron, but I don't want Golden State winning.
I will agree with him on the original point. Had Draymond not been suspended, they likely would have won it. Most people will believe that, and I think realistically that probably would have happened. But at the end of the day, the best basketball player was hungry, and he got fed, and Cavs won.
I'm not necessarily gonna agree with the Draymond situation because I really feel like even though Draymond was suspended, they still had a chance to win. Like I think Steph made like a stupid turnover. I think he tried to make a pass behind his back.
Yes.
Something happened. There was a turnover.
Yeah,
there was a huge turnover. Had he not made that play, I feel like they could have still won.
But when Draymond got hurt, remember the game after Bogut got hurt, I believe?
Yep.
So if, let's say Draymond was there, Bogut would have still been healthy, and there was someone else who hurt themselves. I can't remember. But if they had all their core, so even though Green was gone, then afterwards, by the time he got back, Bogut was out, and someone else was hurt. I can't remember. I don't want to make it.
Iguodala had that injury and then drew his leg, didn't he?
Yes, Iguodala was on
He played, but he was basically.
But he was still well. But they were all fully. If he didn't get suspended, they would have all been fully healthy going in. You know, you never know what happens. But I'm not taking away from Cavs. The Golden State had 2 home games to have a chance. They lost. So
and with the 3-1 game too, right? Let's not forget about that. It was a serious time, like 1 game away.
They played really hard, and I feel like a lot of people, like they said that the year before, Golden State had like this amazing luck that got them to the finals and made them win with like a team that was not conventional. But then again, like you could say the same thing about Cleveland last year. You know what I mean? Like you said, like had Draymond not been suspended and health been all right, and Steph Curry not made that stupid turnover, they could have won as well. But they didn't, and maybe Cleveland just got lucky. Like, yeah, okay. A lot of people are gonna be like, "Yo, this guy's crazy." they have the best player in the world. They did play better, but it could have just been luck that made them win. It's a legitimate argument.
Or face, one of the two, right?
Winning twice in Golden State was always going to be troublesome, and they did it. I think both me and you kind of knew that after they got by Game 5, they were going to win Game 6, and then Game 7 is kind of a crapshoot,
right? Exactly.
Yeah, it's a crapshoot. And then as soon as they won that game, I was like, 2 games. They got back in Cleveland. They'll win that game. When they get to Golden State, best player in the world, Game 7.
Well, one thing I'll say for sure, just to stamp on that, there is nobody that can tell me that Cleveland won that. It was Golden State who lost to me. To me, you say the best player. You say the
I
best
don't
player.
disagree with that.
I don't disagree with that.
To me, the big moment of the series was that I forget which game it was. It was that where LeBron dropped Steph Curry to the floor and he gave him that look. To me, that right there was a guy that was on a mission and that he was going to dominate the series, and that to me is what happened. As soon as he looked at that, he was like, damn, he's coming to play, and he ain't gonna get stopped.
That's true. He did come to play, but is Curry a 17-point per game player?
He's not.
So it's not like 2 Warriors went against each other.
To me, LeBron is like a tractor trailer. When he's focused and he's going on the road, it's tough to stop that guy when he's focused and playing at his best and when he's motivated. And to me, he was very, very motivated.
Steph Curry's the babyface assassin, and if he was
playing properly, then that would have been different.
Steph's shooting, when Steph doesn't have a shooting, Steph can do a couple of different things.
Yeah, but
LeBron is more of a complete player. I think we can all argue
about that either. But
one other thing I want is when he gave Curry that look, I think Curry fouled him. It was an and one, and he got the layup. He's looking back at him as if. I was just saying, like, he had 65 pounds on the man. You know what I mean? Like, you're looking back, as if he's going to do something.
No, but as LeBron, again, I don't like to say anything positive about him, but but it's true. But the point is that Curry is not playing properly, and LeBron, once he felt confident to showboat on that guy, right?
Exactly.
So basically, those two are the
down.
faces, and LeBron's saying, no, I'm still the face. As a guy who wants to be king, you're supposed to do that. Yeah. Curry was acting like a coward. I just can't, I can't be a fan of Curry
One
anymore.
thing I want to finish up, we're gonna start with the new season. Remember when LeBron started crying and when I was with you watching that game? What did you say about LeBron?
I lost it. I said he's faking.
He's
He sounds there. We're all watching it. We're all watching it, and I
saw the cameras look at him.
I was like sulking because they were gonna lose. It was clear. Kyrie hit that three and it was over.
Yeah.
And I was just minding my business, and we're all out eating. And then as soon as I looked from the corner of my eye and I saw LeBron, and I screamed at the top of my lungs, "He's faking!" And the whole bar started looking at me and laughing. But he was just bothering me.
Yeah, it was like just a flip of switch, and he was like,
I really feel like lastly to touch on that point, I really feel like you need to lose with as much, or you need to win with as much grace as you lose. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like the way that like for example, him staring down Steph Curry and like flexing, like, yeah, you got 65 pounds on the guy.
Exactly.
We all know you're the best player in the world. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you are the king. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like the king of the jungle. Like that's like a lion like roaring over like some zebras. Like,
yes.
are you kidding me?
One thing before you jump on. Remember when he stepped over Draymond? That's exactly what I'm talking about. Draymond's down and out. He's stepping over him. When he knows if Draymond stepped over LeBron, what would LeBron do?
Exactly.
What would the league have done?
What would
He
the
got
league
in
have
trouble for
done?
that.
Exactly.
And what would LeBron do if Draymond kicked him in the nuts?
Oh my
That's
God.
a real
Well, I mean, Draymond had a really rough finals, had a really rough offseason. He had got, again, that whole kicking motion thing, I think they're going to be watching that from a lot of players because that seems to be like a common thing these days. So again, he probably should have been suspended earlier. He was doing that throughout the playoffs, so he got lucky a couple of times.
Whatever, enough about the past.
I know you have to move on. Can I say one thing before you move on? Because I can't leave on a positive for LeBron. He brought up something perfect for me. Is that when they were down 3-1, LeBron came up to the media, right? And he's like, I didn't come to the Cavs to win a championship. Because he said that because I don't think he thought they were going to win. Once they started getting closer and they won and then they made it 3-3 and he started getting confident and stuff like that, that's when you hear him start talking and acting all cocky. So I don't rate cockiness once you're up. Exactly. So when Golden State was down 3-1, Draymond, Clay, all of them said we are still winning when they were still gonna win. Exactly.
LeBron's always about
LeBron's a lot of I and then the team. You know.
All right, guys, this is a season preview. We're gonna get back to our season preview right now. Toronto Raptors ended up losing the Eastern Conference Final to the Cavs. Obviously, a lot of turnover with the Raptors too, kind of right. Like they lost some key players. Bismack's gone, which is a big loss. We know he was going to leave.
Can't get that guy.
Then you replace him with Sullinger, I guess. You get Pascal Siakam, who looked very nice. Although it's preseason, he's looking very nice. He's looking like a Bismack replacement right now. Terrence Ross, also, we talked about him. Raptors fans don't want to hear too much about him, but
we never do.
With our options, we're kind of going to have to, right? Yeah. Quick thoughts on the Raptors. We'll go around the table, Igor.
First, like I was saying before the show started, what they did last year with this current squad, yeah, I think Pascal's been alright, but that to me was their top echelon. With this current squad, the way that it's formed, unless I think your Boston team's going to be really competitive this year with Al Horford and so forth. Unless they make a major change, that's going to be their ceiling. Or again, if LeBron gets injured for the season or something crazy happens to the Cavs, they're not going to get. That to me was their peak, getting Game 6 in the Eastern Conference Final. And should they have made it there? I mean, we argued that a lot last season. Should they have been out in Indiana had it not been for a coaching issue in Game 6, I believe. Again, they did great and better than we thought it was going to be, definitely. But to me, I don't think they're going to finish second in the East, and I don't think they'll reach the Eastern Conference Final either, because I think, will they get some more progression from Valanciunas, and will Lowry and DeRozan be more comfortable in the playoffs? I think that will happen. But the other teams are getting better, and I just don't see the Raptors being able to get over that hurdle, whether it be the Cavs or whoever it ends up being. Will they be a playoff team? Sure. But I think it'll be a team that finishes anywhere from 3 to 6 in the Eastern Conference.
I agree with that, but in regards to what happened last season, nobody expected the Raptors to get to the Eastern Conference Finals. A lot of people threw the idea out there, maybe as the season progressed. Like, you know what I mean? Like, second half of the season, guys were like, maybe they could get it there. Two things. Nobody expected Biyombo to be as effective as he was. Nobody expected that. Another thing, DeMarre Carroll was injured. He was pretty much non-existent. Like, he had a couple good games, but he was non-existent. So with those two variables, nobody expected us to get to the finals. But he somehow managed.
But before these guys interject, they finished second in the Eastern Conference. So doesn't it show you that if you're not expected to reach the Eastern Conference final when you're the second seed, there's an issue if you have that good of a regular season?
The competition was light for sure. Like the Eastern Conference is a lot deeper than it is now. I think that once again, I don't necessarily think Raptors can make second. There's a chance that they could, but I wouldn't bet on it at this point. But I feel like with the trades and what's happened, the movement, like it sucks to lose Biyombo, but like you said, who's paying? Like we're not paying him. Orlando's paying him. We're not paying him that money. That was never gonna happen. We got Sullinger, who's not he's not an amazing player, but
I think he'd be a nice piece off the bench.
Exactly. So I think he's gonna start. Actually,
really?
I think he's gonna start. Because I personally would rather him start than have
Patterson off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You don't want to mess with Patterson.
He was more comfortable coming off the bench.
Yeah, I always liked Sullinger even out of college, but his big issue is that his weight.
He's like 40 pounds.
He's just to me he looks like he's just a younger and maybe better version than James Johnson, who had all those issues last year. Again, to me he can be a solid player if he puts the effort into it, but if he's gonna end up looking like Oliver Miller, we're gonna be problematic.
It's too early for that. I doubt that.
You know, he still puts up numbers. He's a good rebounder.
He's a Raptor killer.
Yeah.
He's a Raptor killer every time we play them. Let's see if you can apply that.
All right. Let's talk some Raptors then. First of all, we all know. Well, you weren't here before when we were doing it, but I think the Raptors were fool's gold. I told you that. You brought up a point that I brought up to you, that they were second but weren't favored. But you guys were believing in them more than you should have, I felt. I felt that, yes, even though they made it there, I feel that they tripped and fell down a hill to get there to me. I don't think they should have got there. Now, this is my thing. I don't mind. I'm not hating on the Raptors. I don't mind. To me, it's not a failure if they go, well, to me it's a failure if they can't pass the first round, but they don't have to make it there to be a success.
Yeah.
It's just they have to play properly. To me, I don't think they should have won. Like, I want to see them go, like, even if you want to go like Blue Jays, they went and won. They won the playoff game, they won the thing, they just won. To me, it's like we had circumstances on why I was saying why I even thought they got there. It was a fluke to me that they even got there. So what I'm saying is that if they can play properly and they can pass the first round, I don't really think it's a failure because they lost a lot of people.
To let Ron and whatever viewers know, Lamar was big on, Kyle Lowry just jacking up threes, DeMar DeRozan getting some garbage buckets. And what else was the thing you didn't like about the way they played?
I just didn't like how they did. I just
didn't
like how they played as a unit.
ISO ball.
It just looked like it just didn't look right. Like, there's a reason why people didn't believe in them. How can you be in second and be beating all these teams, but something is not right? And the way that they played, I didn't see like a culture or like something about them like Celtics. When I see them, I don't care if they lost first round. When I watch them play, it's a beautiful thing. Yeah, and so like I just don't with the Raptors. I don't see it. Like I see hope for them because Lowry's a contract year, and I think he's going to play well, right?
He's going to get paid
Well, I don't know how much.
But he's going to be really motivated.
Yeah, he's going to play
every
well.
time Lowry's been in a contract season, like the last time he was contract with us, he was beast. He's definitely going to want to.
To interject on a point that he made. To me, he said that if they get past the first round, it's a success. To me,
no, not success. I'm saying it can be if they play properly. It can be not a failure.
So to me, like if that's the mindset is that the season's already a failure, because if you're gonna be doing that and you don't believe that you can have a championship caliber team, you might as well do the Philadelphia 76ers style.
Do you see the Raptors making it to the Eastern Conference Finals?
I don't. That's the issue.
Without seeing
but here's my issue: is that last couple of years they've been very. Pascal seems like a good little role player. They've been very conservative in terms of the drafting. Way too conservative that they've been settling the Raptors.
Yeah.
The Raptors have been way too conservative. They haven't been gung ho in terms of trying to.
Was the perfect example.
Again, I saw that pick. As soon as I saw that, I cringed. Again.
A lottery pick.
A lottery pick that they got from the Knicks, and they wasted it. Again, I don't know how good he's gonna be, but luckily gonna be a big stiff white guy. And I'm saying that being a white dude. At the end of the day, to me, it's conservative where this is their opportunity to go for the home run, and they're settling for the single.
I agree.
This is basically what's going on.
That reminds me of a saying that my grandfather used to always tell me: once bitten, twice shy. Raptors have gambled for home runs in the past season. Maybe not so much in Masai's. Well, actually, we can talk about one time when Masai. We won't go over there. But Raptors in history have gambled or have gone for the fences, swung for the fences, and got somebody that had, or went after somebody that had like amazing upside. Yeah. Joey Graham specifically being one of them. You know what I mean? And then realizing that, oh crap, like this guy sucks. You know what I mean? He's not effective. So maybe I understand why maybe they go with the conservative with the conservative pick, because in history they put themselves in a position that's really ruined the franchise that they're just now recovering from. Lastly, Andrea Bargnani. You know what I mean? Like the Raptors have just now started to recover. Well, maybe the last 2 seasons recovered from the Andrea.
And that was all off a lucky trade, obviously. With
and as much as Bargnani was terrible for the latter, I think he was a pretty good rookie. He had his moments. Now, if you're gonna tell me that this guy's gonna have, again, it's all basically on one.
I'm not saying that Siakam is gonna be.
Well, I'm saying, but Bruno, if he doesn't pan out, he was a late pick.
Yeah,
20, you're going to reach. But when you have a top 10 pick, and you reach on a guy that to me has very limited to mid-table potential, you might as well go for because again, DeRozan re-signed here. I was sort of surprised that he did. There's no guarantees with Kyle. Their window is now. Those guys are getting older. Lowry's going to be about 32, I believe, next year. Yeah. 31, 32. He's going to be on one of those situations. Their window is now. Their window is closing soon, and they're playing conservative to make the playoffs. You might as well shoot for the stars and try to win something, or you do what the 76ers did and just start rebuilding and try to get an impasse. Because
I said that a bunch of times, and obviously, I had to eat my words because they went to East Final. But like you guys keep saying, they have 2 years, and after that, they're going to be another mid-table team in the East.
No, but here's the thing. This is what you're saying, which makes sense, but you're almost being cliche about it. Every team is supposed to be trying to make it to the finals and win, right? Yeah. Okay, so what we're saying is that, to me, a success is that you either do better or kind of equal to what your roster. To me, the roster that the Raptors had, they overachieved. They should have been there. They just weren't playing properly to me. But the talent to me, where Biombo and everybody had 2 centers that you could sub off one. One was a scorer, one was a defender. You had guards. You had a good point guard. You had a good defensive point guard. I like Joseph as a point guard, but he kind of whatever. But their team, there was a talent to go there. Right. That's why if they failed the first round, it was like a huge thing if they were to get knocked out. To me, you lose Biombo, right? Mm-hmm. I was okay on James Johnson. I obviously he gained some weight and he wasn't acting whatever. But you lose some, so you lose some pieces, right? And you still are able to go. Like, I know we're going to bring up OKC, but if OKC were to make it to the second round, after losing Durant, after getting rid of Ibaka and all that kind of stuff, is that a failure? All because they didn't make it to the...
It's not a failure in the sense that, again, there's standard expectations. Or there are only a few teams that are in the NBA that are considered elite and likely have chance. You can basically say...
OKC.
OKC. A lot of people believe that OKC still has a chance to do well based on a few things. It's not Russell Westbrook's team. They have a vendetta against Kevin Durant.
Yes, that's
and realistically, they have different pieces there. A lot of people still believe that.
Some good pieces.
They still because if you look at it, because the West is a lot different. The Spurs are getting older.
We're going to talk about the West soon. Let's
But again, my main point is at the end of the day, do I believe that in proper time, let's say given the 76ers for example, if Ben Simmons becomes a superstar player that Joel Embiid. They, in a year or two, with proper pieces and barring any injuries, because they've been massively unlucky, they'll be at a level that the Raptors really won't. The 76ers, even though they've been terrible for years, they're gonna get high-end players. And again, I'll go back to hockey and just for 1 second. The Toronto right now, if you ask me, who has a better chance in the next 2 or 3 years to win something significantly between the Toronto Raptors and the Toronto Maple Leafs, who've been terrible for years, I will take the Maple Leafs all day. And you know why? Because the Maple Leafs have a young core with a ton of stardom.
You're one signing away from failure.
What was that?
You don't know if those two guys are going to all stay together.
But they have one thing that the Raptors don't have is they have the one super significant piece.
Exactly.
They have superstar youth, while the Raptors have all stars, and I'll give it to Lowry and DeRozan, but they don't have. Truthfully, besides the Detroit Pistons, there hasn't been in the last 10, 15 years, there hasn't been a team that's won something significant in the NBA without having a superstar player at the core, and the Raptors do not have that.
Okay, one scenario. One last scenario. I'm going to ask you a question, okay? Let's say that the standings, playoffs next year, right? Let's say Knicks, for some magical reason, come together and they play very amazing, right? Mm-hmm. Let's say they're second place behind Cavs, okay? Let's say that the Raptors are in 7th place. Not playing that well, everyone's like, okay, we knew it because of whatever. Mm-hmm. Let's say that the Raptors beat the New York Knicks, Game 7, then go Game 7 second round and lose in the finals to a very good team. Let's say Cavs. Maybe I don't know how that would work out. Is that a failure to you because they didn't make it to the finals?
To me, that's not progression. They just did that. That's not progression. That's a stalemate.
It's also the expectation you have to talk about, because one thing I want to say.
But I agree with you. Again, remember, we were doing over here. We both thought that Indiana was going to beat them in that series because they were playing so terribly, and that's the problem. That's what I'm telling you. I'm talking about. We were very jaded on the Raptors in the sense that they have the talent, but in a sense they don't have something that will get them over the hump.
Like Paul George.
Like a
when
Paul
Indiana
George.
was hurting, who was their go-to? Paul George. At the beginning of the series, hold on. Let me
How is that a problem?
what we said
They
was,
didn't think Indiana was going to win.
no, we don't. What we said was Raptors first. Hold on.
Yeah,
We
you
both
said-
said Raptors
yes,
first.
yes.
Then Indiana started taking it to them, playing defense. George Hill, Paul George, D'ing everybody up. Then we got scared. And we said, hold on. I know
I
we
put
picked the
fear
Raptors.
into you.
We picked the Raptors, but I said Indiana scared me. I think Indiana in Game
I
7.
put fear
But again,
into them.
Indiana's
No,
a
but here's the deal. Why obviously did we change our pick? Because we look at how terrible
Previous
DeRozan
failure.
was playing,
Yeah.
how terrible Lowry was
Historical
playing.
shooting.
Historical shooting. They were just
But how
terrible.
amazing!
How could you have picked them?
How amazing was Valanciunas playing?
That's what I'm saying.
But
Who had to get to that level? Who had to get to that level?
You're right. But you were saying that yes, Lowry's older.
that's the
DeMar's
one that's
older,
the wild card.
But then there's still Valanciunas. Terrence Ross is a huge wild card. You got Norman Powell. We got Van Vliet. Like by no means do I think the Raptors are going to be amazing. Like I think Raptors are probably going to
50 wins?
Exactly.
50
They're going to be
wins?
above. They're going to be 50 or above. this year.
Here's the
I don't know.
Here's the
50 or above,
here's the
but,
wild
like,
card. And here's the wild card.
They're trending in the right.
Valanciunas is still young.
Yeah.
He's the one guy that I look at that, to me, he can bring it up to another level or two.
Yeah.
If he's able to do that and gets on that level where he's in the same breath as, say, a guy around, like, I'm not gonna say DeMarcus Cousins, but a guy that's like a little bit lower tier than DeMarcus Cousins, then we're talking. Because then I would say they would have three big significant pieces that can at any point in a game. And I'm not gonna lie. With Valanciunas healthy, could they have given the Cavs a bigger run to it?
Yeah.
He would have given them a lot of problems. No, there's no doubting. Do I think they would
They
have
still
won?
probably go 7 and lose or something, right?
Probably.
If they go 7.
But to me, they're missing something. There's an umph.
Of course, it's
It's
that
the way they play.
It's a
It's
superstar
the
play.
way they
It's a
play.
superstar play.
It's that whole, to me, it's that whole Vince Carter syndrome. I still have it for the Raptors. I'm still in that whole Vince Carter syndrome.
It's two things. You talked about the Leafs and how, and the Philadelphia 76ers. Another team I want to throw in basketball, like the T-Wolves.
Yeah.
They have two like top end talents, right? And with the Raptors, everybody's like, oh, drafting good draft. Van Vliet, Terrence Ross, Siakam. All these guys are great. Corey Joseph, DeLon Wright, great role players. Really good role players.
Role players.
When Kyle's gone in 2 years, even if he is still around at 33, 34, DeMar, we know he's not going to get any better. He will never shoot three. I love the guy, but he's not going to be a three-point shooter. Where are you going? This is your ceiling for this team, I think, right?
But you never know.
And
That's
no,
what I'm saying.
There's so
Exactly.
many-
I told you guys not to blow it up.
There's so
I
many-
told you guys
there's so
last
many
year.
variables.
But hold on.
Blowing it up will be the
Yeah.
most
You only,
ridiculous thing
yeah.
to do. That
I'm
makes
not.
no
Well, you
sense.
can because you have a fan base, and this is Toronto. It's
Because
not
it's
Sacramento,
But
right?
It's not blowing it up.
You
But
guys
to
just said
me,
Philadelphia has superstar players.
They do.
And what have they
do.
been doing for the
But
past couple of
here's the
But they
thing.
haven't
Here's the
been
thing.
playing.
They haven't been
They
playing.
traded them.
They've been playing. No, they've been. Okay,
You know
well,
what?
again, I'm not saying
Those three guys won't be there for long. You know.
That's
If you look at Ben Simmons already injured, he's going to miss
Simmons
a
and Embiid are
bunch of
going
time.
nowhere.
But it's the
One
potential,
over.
and here's the thing with the Raptors: that the potential to me has already peaked, unless they add something significant, and that's what they had an opportunity to do. Heck, if you didn't see anyone you like that number 8. Trade the pick for another big piece.
But we don't know all that. We don't know what's
I
going on
think
behind the scenes.
had they got Serge Ibaka, for example, I would have been impressed.
That's the thing. Hold on.
I would have been impressed with that.
Let me just go back to trade deadline real quick.
But hold on, before you get there, you're talking about guys declining. Serge Ibaka is at the
He's
very
instantly-
best. At the very best, he is plateaued. There's no way
But
he's climbing anymore.
He instantly makes the Raptors better on
But he's
defense.
still
He's
a
a
better.
close thing to
He does-
Biombo, and he
he
can
does-
score, and
he
he can
does become
shoot.
better.
So what did Obama do for us? We lost
Their
anyway.
best
We
chance-
didn't play good.
their-
If we got him, what would have happened?
What was that?
He would have helped a
He's
lot.
just as he's
Oh,
a
he would've
defender
helped.
like
It would've been a
Ibaka. What did
lateral
Ibaka do for us?
move,
We still lost.
We
We don't have a
lost.
lot.
Biombo.
Biombo.
Was it?
Sorry,
But
sorry.
again, Ibaka and Biombo had a very good playoffs, but again, Biombo wasn't like a
Guys,
huge
guys.
piece for a lot of it.
I know that.
Let's not go
I'm
crazy.
sorry. Yeah, hold on. Just to get on Ibaka, if the Raptors had Ibaka, and Zane was on this, we talked about it. Remember, who's the guy that got traded for Thad Young? Remember, we all wanted Thad Young.
Thad
Like
Young.
at the deadline, we saw he went to Indiana for nothing, or wherever he went for like a 20 pick, and we're holding on to that 8 pick, like you just said, which is a safe pick. If you know what you knew now, and you're going to take Jakob Poeltl at 8, would you not trade that for Serge Ibaka in a
Truthfully,
second?
what like?
Yeah, in hindsight. But you can't really like.
Yeah.
That's what I'm just saying.
I think Raptors overachieve. I think that as long as they get to the 50 win mark, as long as they get to 50 win mark, they don't get slapped in the first round, make it to the second. I'll be happy.
But one quick question.
They got Damari Carroll now. They got Damari. They got. I don't think Jared Salinger's going to be amazing. He is injured. If he's going to help the season out of Damari Carroll, if you get Damari from Atlanta in his last season for one season this year, plus you get a little bit of minutes from Siakam, like I don't really see the Raptors being drastically worse than they were last year.
Okay, and
I can see a second round exit.
But what's the whole point of it, Ron? The whole point of it is to win something, right? And right now, they just seem happy to be content that they're going to get a certain place.
One question.
They have a competitive team out
One
there.
question
They want them
again.
to blow it up and to
No, I don't go.
How many teams are going to progress this season?
A lot will progress. Number one thing. Time out. 1 second. I need to ask you guys a question about the East in general. We're talking about the Raptors, how far they're going to go, this and that. How many teams have a legit shot to get out of the East, other than Cleveland? Nobody?
I think Boston Celtics will progress okay. Yeah, I like Cal Former.
You don't know what can happen with Knicks.
Yeah, exactly.
The Knicks.
No, the Knicks
That's what guessing against
but Knicks stay healthy.
You gotta stay healthy. Derrick Rose, you can't really see what.
But it's the same syndrome as the Raptors. What you guys
Exactly.
did. You guys thought the Raptors were going to do
Exactly.
good, and then when you saw Indiana, you guys freaked out and wanted to blow up the team. Remember when we did the podcast? You were like, man, if they lose this game, we should just blow up everything, get rid of everyone. You guys went crazy.
Yes, and I still would.
You can make conservative bets. You can make
Well, now
conservative
it's
bets
tough with
with
Kyle
the
and
Knicks.
DeMar still here. But like,
But
if you lose DeMar's
So,
free agency,
Well, you're basing a lot on what the Knicks do based on what happens with Derrick Rose and so forth. You don't know what you're gonna get out of Derrick.
This
That's
is my
the same thing
point.
with the
This is my
Raptors.
only
You know
point.
what you're saying?
You're one lucky drop.
But Derrick's different.
Derrick Rose was a
Derrick's
superstar.
yeah, exactly. But he has a shadow
He hasn't
himself.
been
You are
Yeah.
one lucky draft or one player for some reason wants to come to Toronto away from still being good. You don't know what
That's
can
what I'm talking
happen.
about.
So
That's what
why
I'm
would you
talking
blow
about.
up the team?
No, you're not getting my point. My point is that you do one of two things. Is right. Either you go one, you go for it, which they haven't been doing, or two, you blow it up. They're in the middle ground where they don't want to go for it because this is their window, and they don't want to blow up the team. So you're in a way where you're going into the season thinking, if they make the second round, they make it to the final, the Eastern Conference Finals. That's cool.
But that's what-
there's no ambition. There's no ambition there.
But that's what the Celtics is doing. They're for 3 years now. They've been patient trying to get that one guy. They got Horford. Okay, he's okay. But they've been trying to get that.
Legit.
He's okay. But they've been wanting that one
Superstar.
powerhouse guy.
Exactly.
Even
They
right
wanted Kevin Love. I take Horford over Kevin Love.
You don't know what guy. They were hoping to get
Kevin Love in
Minnesota
Cleveland.
Love.
Kevin Love in
Okay,
Cleveland.
They were trying to get the
Minnesota one, I don't know.
now they want Hayward from Utah, and even though he's good, he's at best 21 point
Yeah,
per game.
Raptors are
At best,
not a bad
You're not
They're not
getting
bad.
acquiring
They're not a bad
superstar
position.
players doesn't happen overnight.
I'm gonna ask you guys. We're gonna finish up on this draft and move on with the East. How many games do the Raptors win? What place they finish, give or take? And how do you think Terrence Ross ends it? Like, do you think that he makes any progression? He is what he is. That's 3 questions. Go
Well,
through.
is Terrence with or without Amber Rose?
He's not. Since the playoffs last year.
Since the playoffs last year?
Hey, that's raised his stock though. Him being with Amber Rose has now raised his stock and put him in another echelon of dating level.
I don't know. I don't know if he's heartbroken or whatever.
He looks like
something
he's
happened.
playing,
Something happened to Ricky Romero after Miss Universe dumped him. So,
He's playing pretty inspired. But
so
yeah.
you know what? I will say that the Raptors win 50 games,
Okay.
and they'll end up in third.
Okay, who finished second?
I'm gonna take the Celtics to finish second.
Really?
Yeah.
Boy, that's a nice spot, but they ain't going that high. But wait, what about the Terrence Ross?
Terrence Ross situation. Do you want like points per game or?
Like, do you think that he improves from last year?
He turns into basically more like Morris Peterson like. That's my prediction. Maybe like 15, 16 points a game.
So you think he improves then?
He improves a little. Man, well, either that or you cut bait with him. We're paying him enough.
No, just give him 3 years. So he can't come.
How many games did they win last year?
They hit 56.
56.
Yeah,
Okay, so I'll say under 50s, maybe 47, 48. I think that they'll be.
Learning curve.
Yeah, I think they'll be. Well, the ranking, me giving them that messes up what I think. I don't know how much games they're going to win, but I don't think they're going to be better than 4th place.
Really?
If they hit 4th, that would be lucky to me. And Terrence Ross,
So who do you have in second and third?
I know.
We'll touch on that. We got
Some of the teams like Indiana. I like Indiana a lot. I like Boston. Obviously, I like New York. You guys are doubting New York, but if they stay healthy, you don't know what they can
I
do.
don't think New York improves that much from what they did last year.
Yo, I
No,
think
if they stay
Let's
healthy.
stick with this. We're gonna go back to
Going
the
to
East.
Eastern
We're gonna
Conference
go back to
segment,
the East.
I think New York's doing
Yeah.
a
And Chicago gets a
Finish
trade.
off.
Anything can happen with them. They
Yeah,
can
they're
jump
doing
on
a
it. Just
180.
one trade away and one signing away. Yeah, and that's my 3. Terrence Ross, I don't think he's gonna do anything.
Regress, same thing.
I don't think he'll regress. He'll probably just stay as he is, which is still the same as regressing that year.
Raptors, I said last year, they can't get any higher than they did last year. I can't see them getting to the East final. They won 56 last year. The division got better, so you have the Nets and the Knicks, who you pretty much spanked every game. You're not going to get that this year. I'm going to say 48 wins. I said the Raptors 48, 49. Possibly 50. I know it's a 3-win gap. I'll go with 49 on just to round the number. Terrence Ross, I've always been big on him for when he got drafted. Zay knows this, most of you guys do, but he broke my heart, just like the Raptors did. Just like the Raptors did after I watched Indiana. I kind of had a 180 with them. But I think Ross this year does turn it around. I think that, he can maybe add 15 or 16 points a game. He looks nice off the dribble, a little bit of confidence going into the lane, and that's something we haven't seen, right? You see the flashes of the dunks every once in a while, but not in traffic.
So you have him finishing in what place?
I'm going to put the Raptors in third.
Yeah.
I was going to say third or fourth, but I got to give a number. I'm going to say third with 49 wins.
Quickly, I'm going to go with, I think Ross does make slight improvement, not tremendous improvement. I think if the Raptors can get 14, 15 points a game from Ross, it'll be a good look for them. Yeah. I think Raptors are not going to beat their record from last season, but I do think that they'll win more than 50 games. And I think that they can finish potentially anywhere between second and fourth with Boston, Indiana, and maybe Boston, Indiana, maybe the New York Knicks potentially being able to beat them out for that seat. But the Raptors, the continuity that they have, they don't have a lot of new players in their team. Boston doesn't really have actually a lot of new players either. But I feel like the Raptors, it'll be easier for them to get out of the gate without stumbling. Like you said, they stumbled to the Eastern Conference Finals. I feel like they're going to be one of the teams that won't stumble as much out of the gate, whereas like other teams that had tremendous changes will. So plus 50, yes for Ross improving, and the Raptors no lower than 4.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. We come back. We're going to talk about the Eastern Conference. We're going to talk about Knicks, Chicago, and all these guys. I'll see you guys in a sec. Just hit that, start a new one. We're getting off topic a lot, talking about the East. I'm just supposed to be Raptors. Everybody jumping on everybody.
This is a heated one. We always go like that for Raptors.
Raptors is always heated.
Always. Every time we talk Raptors, it goes. We just like.